South Seas Spearo team of Sam, Dwayne, Jules and their two lads, Eli and Reef, have spent the past few days diving the remote waters of Kioa Island in the northeast of Fiji, where they've been able to land a number of hard-fighting wahoo, Spanish mackerel and dog-tooth tuna. Now, after a celebratory final night on Kioa, their plan is to head back to the main island of Viti Levu to see what other species they can tick off for their final few days in the tropics.
Oh, big days and late nights. Oh, we're gonna go say goodbye to our new little Fijian family. Bit of a sad morning, everybody. I don't think anybody wants to leave yet. We're gonna get going. We're on a ferry to Viti Levu. Thank you very much.
Coming.
Yeah, hopefully see you again one day. Hey, see you, brother. Phase 2, here we go.
Yeah, early start today, big travel day. I'm going to head back to the vehicles, drive back into Savu. Then we've got a 2-hour drive to a ferry, 2.5 hours on the ferry, another 2 hours after that. And then we'll eventually end up at Dan's place, and hopefully the weather gods play ball and we can get out for a dive in front of his place. It's meant to be amazing, but incredible hospitality, incredible food, incredible place. Sad to go, but yeah, looking forward to the last couple of days ahead.
After a massive day of travelling and a late arrival to their new base of operations in Volley, the team are understandably a little slow out of bed the following morning. They're also greeted by a rather strong trade wind, which promises to make conditions out wide a little challenging.
It's going to be a bit windy and rough. Really prep our gear on the way out, eh? Trade winds got right up this morning. It was looking glassy, but it's not a good trip till the camera guys spewing, eh, Dave?
The spot the team plan to dive is located due north to the main island of Viti Levu, and it's rumoured to be home to a number of large wahoo, so hopes are high for some big fish action.
See all the birds? Haven't seen any birds the whole way out, and that's just as we hit the reef. And flying fish. Woo-hoo-hoo! Exciting. How deep's the bommy? Oh really? Oh right, look, there it is there. Look, the bommy's right here. So after a mammoth day travelling yesterday, we finally made it to Dan's place, local legend here. And we're up in the morning, bright and early, headed out to the reef. We're on a bommy out here.
The wind isn't necessarily in our favour, but it's still good enough to get out here. We'll be battling a bit today, but there's every chance some good fish are going to turn up and we're going to finish on a good note.
The water looks beautiful.
Let's get into it.
It's a bit quiet. Everybody's rinsed from our massive drive yesterday.
I don't know about you, I had a good shower and sleep.
Did you get a shower before it broke?
How did nobody check that other bedroom? 6 days worth of sunblock all built up all over me and sweating filth.
You were stinky too, bro.
So
was I?
I had a shower last night in the communal shower, in the main shower, but I didn't realise I had an ensuite in my bed. And after I had my shower, the handle broke, so Sam missed out and had to wash himself with a flannel.
And cameraman Dave. Stinky boys.
Sweet bolt. You all good, Sammy?
Happy as, bro. We'll see you in there, man.
See you in the water.
Sam might be a tad salty about missing out on a long overdue hot shower, but it's impossible to stay dirty in such clean, clear water.
We've literally just got to the spot. It's so fishy. Jules is going to have his first dive. There's a big school of trevally down there. Far out. Feed.
Conditions in the water may be ideal, but it's certainly far from comfortable for those left back aboard the boat.
Yeah, pretty deep. Lid chops off pretty deep, so I'll come back and get my watch. And we're gonna get some burley and burley up because we haven't seen much yet. Heaps of bait, but no big fish.
Shit is about to get real.
As expected, the introduction of a bit of burley immediately kicks the local sharks into life. So the fellas are going to need to keep an eye on them now that they've had a taste. But the burley also has the desired effect in luring in a larger predatory fish, which Dwayne wastes little time in hauling in to keep it out of the reach of the tax man lurking close by.
Had to be quick there. Nice wee rainbow runner. Similar to our kingfish in New Zealand, similar shaped body, a little bit longer and slender. They're a pelagic fish that seem to hang out with the bigger pelagics as well, so a good sign at the start of the day. Had a couple of good silver tip sharks trying to get him, so I'm going to get him out of the water pretty quick.
With the first fish now on the deck, the fellas continue their search for some more sought after species, such as giant trevally, dog-toothed tuna, Spanish mackerel and wahoo. Dwayne plugs another reef fish for burley, but pretty soon the sharks, which have been content to keep their distance, start growing in confidence.
Wow, they look cool, eh? I just saw some barracuda, I'll shoot one for burley. That white tip just came and bit the shaft off and then took off. Didn't even take the fish.
Barracuda.
That was bad luck. A couple of sharks come racing in from down below, and one of those little, either like a silver tip or a white tip, come racing in, bit the shaft off, left the fish alone and then took off again. Lucky he was all tangled up. That was weird. He came in and hit the fish, cut the rope and then just took off.
With the sharks starting to complicate matters, what better time to give the small fry reef and Eli their first crack? It's a cunning strategy from Dwayne and Jules. If the sharks do decide to have a crack at a diver, they're far more likely to target the smaller specimens in the water. Safety always comes first here at South Seas Spearo. But the presence of a few hungry sharks isn't enough to stifle the lads' enthusiasm.
Good shot, mate, good shot. Stone him.
Trevally.
All joking aside, it does pay for the little sparrows to stick close by their more experienced dive buddies. Diving in such clean, clear water can be dangerously deceptive. You can easily find yourself quite literally out of your depth, given how the increased visibility diminishes the sense of distance. So Jules and Dwayne keep a close eye on their young proteges. But there's not a lot around for them to get into any trouble with.
Well, we've been here for about 4 hours now, and it has been so quiet. I've just jumped on the boat to try and entice Murphy's Law, and it's kicked in. There's a bit of action up the front now, so I'm going to jump in and see what's happening.
Finally, the first fish on the team's hit list makes an appearance.
That was good timing, bro. That he came around the corner while I was down there.
Nice work, boy. Good work.
It looks like another waloo, another Spanish mackerel. We haven't seen any of them all day today. That might be a sign that the tide's changing, so we might start seeing a few other species turning up.
Woo. Well done. Watch those teeth, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, back at the other spot we had a bit of a Spanish mac attack. These things here are made for slicing. Super sharp, doesn't take much to get these to slice you open, so I'm steering clear of them well and truly, but nice eating fish on the board. Nicely done, bro.
I was back to that gun that I kept missing with.
Oh yeah?
Because the white tip came and bit the shaft off that good gun. And so lucky he came right in, I was like, don't miss, boof, got him.
That's a good shot, bro.
Ready to go? Yeah, boy. Nice. Here's a nice fish, bro. That was 13.5 meters. That's actually quite a good fish, eh? A mangrove jack. Good eating.
Yeah, mate. What's that?
Mangrove jack.
Mangrove jack.
Yeah, Trevally. Stoked. So stoked.
With the Groms starting to steal the limelight, time now for Dwayne and Jules to prove they're not just dead weight. And having now had a fair bit of surface time, Dwayne's lungs and legs are pretty much fully charged. So for the next dive, he's confident in his ability to put up some pretty big numbers.
There's some fish hiding in amongst those holes. You just gotta wait, you just gotta go down and try and find them coming out of the holes.
You shot one?
Is this one any good? There's some sort of cod.
A rocker or marble grouper. Real yum eating.
It just feels like it might be building up a bit here.
Seems that Dwayne's spidey senses are tingling, so he is hoping the team's final hour in the water sees an influx of fish.
Good eaters, these ones. A little bit of funky chicken just then, eh?
Oh really?
Yeah. Ew.
They sort of come in but not close. I probably dived a bit early, but they were smaller.
Unfortunately, that was all she wrote on the Wahoo front, and for the final few dives of the day, there's not a lot for the fellas to get too excited about.
That's gold spot trevally. Not quite the target species. It'll have to do. It's a real shame. Things started to look like it was going to get pretty good there for a second. Rainbow runner coming through, scared, bait fish going everywhere. Tide had just turned. One of the boys saw a wahoo, and then it just went dead again. So that's fishing, I suppose.
Whilst the team are bringing home plenty of great eating fish, it's been a slightly underwhelming day for the fellas. But considering the testing surface conditions, they've done pretty well. But with the winds forecast to be just as strong in the morning, the team may need to lower their rather lofty expectations.
So the weather's not playing ball again, it's testing us a bit. The wind's still a bit up on yesterday, but we've got up a couple of hours earlier and we're out here. We're trying to give ourselves the best option or the best chance at a good fish, so chip away here for a couple of hours, and then if it's no good, then we'll be back in shallow into the calmer waters of Fiji.
The grand finale, boys. Father's Day special.
Father's Day means the dads get the first crack at the reef. And much like the day prior, it's absolutely teeming with life, with a multitude of colourful bait fish as well as the odd shark prowling on the edges.
This big school of jacks on the front of the rock just sitting up there in amongst the tide. Jules has got a hole he can sneak through. He's going to dive down and sort of swoop his way through a hole, come out to the front of the boulder. Hopefully there's a good fish there.
Jules and Sam creep slowly through the submarine arch, careful to make their movements small in order not to spook the large school of fish hovering close by. And Jules quickly spies a possible target. Jules has pulled off a solid shot on a nice sized giant trevally, a particularly hard-fighting fish, but the job's only half done. He's now got to try and keep the ravenous pack of sharks from destroying his catch. Luckily, he's got Dwayne on his shoulder to help him fend off fired-up reefies and silvertips, who are now darting in rapidly looking to take a piece out of the struggling GT. But this isn't Julian's first rodeo, and pretty soon he's got the trevally out of the danger zone and up near the surface, where the sharks aren't likely to cause him any more trouble.
Nice work!
GT,
Nice, mate.
Woo. Woo. Man, that was a pretty cool dive. Our first dive on that bommy, there was heaps of fish on the front, so we didn't disturb it. We just waited on the top or on the back side. And there was a little cave you could go through and sneak out the front so none of the fish see you coming. Me and Sam went through the cave, and it was just like, there was just trevally everywhere, schools of surgeons, they were just milling around. It was a pretty nice picture to look at. And there's a couple of these boys, so when this guy saw me turn around and race down, I don't think they expected us to be coming from the inside of a cave, so he just raced in to have a look and shot him right in the face. Happy Father's Day. There's not much cicatera where we are, so these GTs are actually really good eating. You don't have to worry about getting poisoned. The locals love them. The meat on them's good. There's nothing wrong with them, so yeah, no problem pulling the trigger on that boy.
It's already looking fishier than yesterday, eh? Big school of surgeons hanging around that weren't here yesterday. Pretty nice, just coming that a couple of hours earlier. Hopefully it pays off.
A few smaller dogtooth tuna are still present, prowling on the edges. But Dwayne's not interested in these pups. Doggies can grow up to over 100 kilos, and it's still quite early in the day's diving, so he's eager to hold off in hope of a larger fish paying him a visit. But in the process, he's starting to rack up some impressive stats on his Garmin Descent dive watch, with a few 2.5 minute plus deep drops. Meanwhile, Jules is going about his business, banging over more surgeons for Burley, hoping to attract in a trophy caliber fish. After the behaviour of the GT early in the morning, I'm becoming convinced that Julian has some kind of fish magnetism at work. Check out how this bar cheek Trevally makes a beeline straight for him. Talk about shooting fish in a barrel. Meanwhile, Dwayne's still working hard in the deep, but by now I think the sharks have cottoned on to what he's up to, shadowing him in the hope of snaking themselves a free feed. There's certainly a couple of intimidating companions to have at 30 metres down, but up near the surface, the sharks' regular companions, a pair of large remora fish, are keeping Jules and Sam entertained as they pick off a few chunks of burley. As the lads check out the remoras, far below them, Dwayne's presented with a perfect chance to bag another sought-after Spearo species, the green jobfish. He's connected with a well-placed long-range shot, but he's got a wrap of the Dyneema line around his finger. A great way to lose a digit should the sharks get hold of the jobby, but he's able to free it just before it pulls tight. Now it's another race to get the fish to the surface before the sharks can claim it. But the roles have reversed for this tug of war, with Jules now acting as a bodyguard and keeping the sharks at bay. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say, and once again, the fellas managed to get the fish to the surface unscathed.
Yeah, boy.
Cheers, mate.
That's a good jobby, eh?
Yeah, it's a good jobby.
Bro, two big remoras just turned up, hey? We've been looking around like, oh, where'd they come from?
Oh, no way. But he's stoked with that. Patience paid off there. Just sitting in the spot waiting on that pressure point for something good to come along, and yeah, rewarded with this really nice jobby. Good fish to get, you know, they're cunning, hard fighting. Yeah, they can definitely test the patience. So this is the similar one that bust my shaft a couple of days ago, so really good to get one on deck finally, eh? Bit of variety, the change of the target species, but good variety, good fish, good eating. It's bloody lucky Julian was there too. The sharks were hot on his heels, that's for sure. I was racing the surface because I needed air, but Jules has managed to bloody scare them away, and yeah, team effort, awesome.
Over the course of the next hour or two, the teams stick to their guns, diving deep in the hope of encountering another trophy caliber fish. However, seems the only fish being shot are those needed to keep the burley trail going. The local sharks seem to be getting a little agitated about the rather small tidbits that are on offer, clearly wanting a larger, more satisfying meal. But whilst they're increasing in confidence, they're still not presenting any danger to the fellas, who've swum with much worse over the years.
Oh, that's gonna stretch out for the lungs. Woo-hoo.
Oh, that's a pretty good dive. I just filmed a big ass coral shell, like that one in Bavel. Pointed the gun right at it. And he came right up close for a look, but left him there. Looked too cool. No luck. Oh well, we'll try our luck in shallow, eh? It was actually quite a bit of fun chasing those different species there. Nothing massive turned up, but it looked like something could have. We stayed around long enough for if anything big was around, and it would have turned up by now, so we'll change tactic, and Julian's got a hot spot in close, he reckons.
Yeah, we gave it a good nudge, mate. We gave it a good nudge.
We've got another hour left before the end of the tide turns slack, so we're going to quickly jump in on this reef here. There's a bit of a pressure point here and a bit of tide, so it comes along here, and apparently it's really good for walu, or Spanish mackerel.
Despite being in much closer to the mainland, there's still pretty good visibility here. And whilst there's less chance of an encounter with the wahoo or doggy, there's loads of opportunities to plug a few more tasty treats from off the reef.
These are all good eating.
Got a surgeon fish.
Mean, bro.
Having checked out the wide variety of smaller fish swimming around in the shallows, Dwayne sinks down off the edge of the reef and is presented with a perfect chance to end the week-long Fijian mission on a high note.
Oh. Nah, I think he muzzle wrapped or something.
Dwayne just stuffed up a real big walu. Bloody embarrassing. Bloody embarrassing.
That was a beauty too.
There's no point crying over spilt milk, so Reef drops down and manages to go one step better than Dwayne.
Watch out for those teeth.
There was only one big one, and Dwayne went to shoot it and he had muzzle wrap.
Yeah, that's cool though. First walu. Plenty of room to improve on.
Definitely.
Pretty big one came in. Dwayne and I both went down. It swam over to Dwayne and we're all watching and he shot. But I think he got another muzzle wrap on his gun. So this bear stopped short. Fish just boosted off. It was a nice looking fish.
The big walu may have given him the slip, but Dwayne's able to salvage some pride with another respectable table fish.
Big eye sea bream will move. Can be very challenging fish or they can be really easy. This one here, he just hid behind a bit of reef and he just comes screaming up to me to see what I was doing. Pretty lucky, good size one. They call these the widowmaker as well because they can hang just off the edge of your gun range and just sit there and sit there and sit there and feel like they're coming in closer, and a few people have blacked out from holding their breath too long.
It's hard saying goodbye to the warm water, insane visibility, and amazing variety of fish on offer here in Fiji.
Let's steam.
But all good things come to an end, and it's now time for the team to call it a day.
Oh, it's almost out of here then. See the colours on this thing, bro? Wow. Oh my god.
Whew. I was just glassed off a bit now. Oh well, but it's the end of the trip. We had a pretty awesome time. Yeah, it's been a real good trip. Might actually finish it off with a nice cold beer with the boys. Huh? Hey.
You deserve it, mate.
Cheers, Sammy.
Cheers, mate.
Hey, I got a doggy.
You got a doggy?
Go on.
You finally got one.
That's us for this season of South Seas Spearo. But if this trip's inspired you to embark on a Fijian spearfishing adventure of your own, then drop us a line, and we'll hook you up with our guys on the ground over there. And if you're watching this from outside New Zealand, then do yourself a favour and check out SouthSeaSpearo.com for more madcap spearfishing action. South Seas Spearos would like to thank Stabbycraft Marine, giving us the ability to adventure with confidence. The power, performance and reliability provided by our Yamaha outboards. Bowshar, the world's first diving company and spearfishing pioneer since 1934. GFab Trailers, for the cutting-edge customised alloy trailers. Victory Knives, proud to be New Zealand made since 1927. Garmin, world leaders in marine electronics. And our great mates at Just Another Fisherman for helping us look sharp on and off the water. Massive thanks to you all for keeping us afloat.
You can always rely on South Seas Spearo to deliver an epic adventure. And you can always rely on Yamaha for epic adventures of your own. Yamaha, proud to have brought you another awesome episode of South Seas Spearo.